Welcome to or back to my channel. My name is Abby and I am a certified independent Optavia health coach, and today we are going to be talking about navigating parties and social situations while on the Optavia 5&1 program. 3 years ago, my husband and I both lost 65 pounds on the Optavia 5&1 program, and after a lot of life happened, keeping it off for 2 years, this past 6 months, we've adopted a baby. I've had back surgery, so I am back on the Optavia 5&1 program. I am on day 6 today and feeling amazing. But I have a party to go to tonight. So we're gonna talk about that because that's one of the questions I get a lot of times from my clients is how do I navigate specifically the holiday season or social gatherings, weddings, dates, parties, all of those things while still staying in fat burn or still maintaining my health journey. So there's a lot of different ways we could approach this. I'm gonna talk about a few different options and then I'm gonna tell you what I've chosen to do and why I've chosen to do that. First, I want to say this is not a diet, it's a lifestyle change. Life is all about choices. So you have a choice to stay on program and stay in fat burn or get off program and get out of fat burn. I had a lot of clients on Thanksgiving, for example, where they decided on Thanksgiving they were going to make the choice to be off program and then jump back on the next day. That's a perfectly fine choice and a choice I've made a lot of times in my life. I am not going to make that choice today though, and I'm going to explain why. I am only 6 days into program. I just got into fat burn. And so I'm really not at a point in my journey where I want to make the decision to get off plan out of fat burn and have to redo that whole thing. Because remember, it takes 3 days. So that being said, once I've decided to make that choice, by the way, when we first did our journey, we went 8 weeks without making a choice. And I recommend that to anyone. If I can stay on this program for 8 weeks and not make a choice, I'm going to be so far ahead on my health journey. It's going to be really good. This go around, we started program on Sunday, November 6th it was. And so I am going all the way till Christmas Eve. And then I'm going to take Christmas Eve and Christmas Day, not the whole day, just a couple of meals, each of those, one meal each day off, and then jump right back on the next day. If Christmas wasn't smack dab in the middle of this, I probably would have chosen to just do the full 8 weeks initially, but that's just not where life was right now. So that being said, I have a Christmas party tonight. It's a mom's Christmas party. It's PJ themed, like what could be better? We're all supposed to bring a festive holiday dish to share. I think we're thinking more like appetizers, desserts, that kind of thing. And then a couple of gifts that we're gonna exchange. So I'm really excited to go. I don't wanna miss out on it. I guess one choice when I decided to stay on plan could be, well, that's too hard for me. I don't wanna go. That's not the case. I want to go. I wanna still live my life. I don't wanna miss out on social situations. So I'm gonna go. Next, I could choose to either bring something to share with a group that's Lean and Green approved, like buffalo chicken dip or like a caprese mozzarella salad or something like that. And I thought about that. That's a great option, but I know myself and I know this early on in the journey, if I deviate from program at all, it's gonna be really easy to like slide off the slope. So if I'm like, oh, just a few cheese cubes or just a few things from the veggie tray and it's not weighed and measured, not going to be good for me personally. Now, maybe you can handle that, but I'm kind of an all or nothing person, so I don't think that's a good idea for me. So what I have decided to do instead is I'm going to eat a second serving of my Lean and Green chili that I made last night before I go, so my belly is nice and full. The party's at 6 o'clock. And then I'm going to bring my Optavia Mint Cookie Crisp bar fueling with me because that's like my favorite one. So, a few hours into the party, I can eat that. I'm also going to bring my Stanley Dupe. And I'm going to fill that with Chick-fil-A ice because ice is all the rage. And I'm going to use, I haven't decided if I'm going to get an unsweet peach tea and put like half a packet of Crystal Light in, or if I'm going to do a sparkling ice with like a lime wedge, which we had last night on date night. So I'll put one of those two things in my Stanley and I'll just sip on this throughout the whole evening. I'm also gonna make sure that I get all my water in before I go so that I'm not like pressured to drink water while we're there and have to go potty a lot. But that's how I'm gonna navigate it. There's really not a right or a wrong way. Like I said, it's your life, it's a lifestyle change, you get to choose. But some of the cautions I give my clients are if they start deviating from program for every little thing, I mean, it's the month of December, how many parties are gonna crop up, right? This is the first of a lot, it's December 1st. So I've just decided, no, my choice for this December is my health. And until Christmas Eve, I'm not deviating. Christmas Eve is what's important to me. My family does appetizers and drinks and open presents. So that's really important to me. So my eyes are on that prize for the next 24 days. So like I said, you kind of have a few options just to summarize. One, you can completely decide, hey, this party is really important to me. I want to go off plan, knowing that it's going to take you 3 to 5 days to get back in fat burn and slow your progress. Totally your prerogative though. I'm making that choice at Christmas. Two, you could plan to bring a lean and green style that you could share with the group. I've had several parties I've gone to where I brought the buffalo chicken dip and no one even knows that it's like lean and green friendly because it's just so good. Once again, I said, because I'm so early in my journey right now, that I'm not going to make that choice tonight. And the third choice is to have a lean and green before you go and bring a fueling that's portable with a fun drink that's plan approved in your Stanley. So those are your kind of choices as you sort of navigate this party, social, holiday season. I wanted to caveat that by saying, if it was a controlled environment where I could go to a restaurant and order something that I knew was lean and green approved, that could be on my plate, I could set half of it aside for the next day if I needed to, that is a situation when I would just go ahead and have the lean and green. So let's say it was like a girls' dinner and at a restaurant, I would plan my lean and green around that, whether it was lunch, dinner, whatever that was. But because this is a party and it's kind of like I don't have control over what's brought, I don't have control over what's presented. For me and my all or nothing personality, it's easier for me to just say, hey, I'm not gonna eat anything at the party other than the fueling I brought and the drink I brought. You can still have fun, guys. Don't make it about the food. Another really useful tip that I like to tell people is to keep their drink or a water bottle in their hand and to station themselves farther away from the food at the party. So if the water bottle's in your hand, you're gonna be tempted to go for that and not grabby. And then also don't stand and talk to people right next to the food table. Like move away so it's not tempting. The further in you get to your journey, the easier it will be to make these decisions and say no. Me on day 6, I'm already in fat burn, so that's better than going on like day 2. But it's still early on. So I just want to offer you that encouragement. And my other piece of encouragement is talk to your coach. Guys, Optavia has coaches for a reason, and we're here to help you navigate these situations, encourage you, hold you accountable, all the things. I think it's great. We don't do this change in the dark. So I also think it's great if anyone asks why you're not eating, go ahead and share. Like no pressure on them, no judgment on them for eating, but you're like, hey, I'm working on my health this month. And I think it's a really cool opportunity to share what you're doing. So those are my best tips for navigating a party or a social gathering while in fat burn on the Optavia 5&1 program. Like, follow, and subscribe for more.